We just, can you go back to saying that bit again? Because that's really, really important, I think.
Sure.
Do you mind? Sorry.
Okay. Like I'm in the last year of my medical studies, and I witnessed women giving birth in the hospital. And after having the warm water rebirthing experience, I just dearly wished that everyone, but specifically doctors and nurses and midwives, having this experience themselves, because it changed my perception of what is actually going on while supporting a person giving birth, what is actually happening there, and how important it is to slow down the nervous system for the newborn, for the mother, and that it's so much really about how we approach people, like the nervous system state, how incredibly important it is to have a regulated nervous system. And what I witnessed in these moments in the hospital is that the women, but also the men, kind of, I felt their kind of, let's say, scarcity or fear of, or this feeling of feeling left alone, not knowing what to do, like the opposite of feeling held, feeling like profoundly seen, supported. And so many times I had the internal feeling that I would just wish to hug them, you know, telling them, hey, you.
Is that my
For
internet?
this experience. Yeah.
Oh, I lost you for a minute there.
Really?
Yeah, you froze and then you came back.
Oh no.
That's
We
okay.
can do it again if you
No,
want.
no, that's okay. That's okay. You were just saying that you wish that you could hug them so they didn't feel alone and so they felt supported, you know, in that space. And that's is that after your, see, the thing is as well, it's not, for me, it's not just about the mothers and the unit, the kind of nurses and doctors who are there holding the space, and the father if he's there, or family that are around. It's how the baby's received that's important.
Yeah.
And I know the mother receives in the most perfect way she can, but often she might be anesthetic or not totally present in some way. And I think that can be felt.
Yeah.
I think the newborn can sense that straight away. And so yeah, and that's all of that experience. I don't think we fully understand how much it impacts the baby,
Yeah.
us and our perception of life.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it wasn't until Freud, I think, in the 50s, decided that babies actually had a consciousness, could
Wow.
feel things. Like, I don't know if you've studied that yet, but it's interesting to kind of go back and see. They didn't think babies could feel, or, you know, there was some kind, somehow not complete when they were born in some way.
Yeah.
Um,
Whereas it's almost the opposite, right? Because
Totally the
they're like
opposite.
so open, so like soaking it all in like a sponge. Like, yeah, wow.
Well, they are us in our purest form.
Yep. Yeah. You know, and this is like this whole thing about really minding the space we create for people to support their healing, or in general, basically. But this became so clear for me during the last years, and breathwork was a huge accelerator in a way for me to see it so clearly, because in a breathwork session we are so mindful the way we approach a person, right? Like when we actually enter the other's individual space, like we are checking in with ourselves, with our emotions, to approach them in a clear way.
Yeah.
And in the hospital, it is almost the opposite, you know. I saw like doctors like rushing into rooms where patients were staying, and they literally felt in a way the internal shock moment of the patients, like come all the time, so hyper aware that something like shocking could happen every moment, you know. It's so unnatural. And
Yeah.
when I like definitely I became more and more sensitive over the last years towards this, and specifically nervous system states. I just thought, wow, like I know very, very few doctors who have actually a regulated nervous system, and I would dearly wish that people understand the importance that we are actually interacting invisibly as well. Like it's our body, like it's our security, home security system, the nervous system, and what is actually required to improve self-healing, for to in a way create a space where people can heal, where the self-healing which is constantly happening is supported. And so
But
yeah.
yeah, but like because our nervous systems or our whole being communicates with another's in
Mm.
in so many ways that are not verbal,
Mhm.
and so the people that are in hospital are already maybe anxious or worried about what's happening to them. It's an unknown space, it's not familiar, it's not at home. They might, they might be in pain, they might have already suffered traumas in their life, which might be making things worse for them, and then they're met with someone else who's unregulated nervous system. This is not, even, yeah, it's not a place that's conducive to being supportive with each other and
Yeah.
coming from a loving space. And I guess it's the pressure, isn't it? It's like there is in in the medical profession, there is, and to be fair, I have at times in the pool, there are times when I'm like, I can feel the fear that doctors and nurses would be having in this moment, because it's a baby being born. It's a huge responsibility if something goes wrong, so I can feel, and I've felt that fear before, and it's a lot to hold. And even though the majority of you knows that this is a sacred portal and everything is exactly as it needs to be, even if death enters it, that's exactly as it needs to be. I don't think that maybe there's enough training in around that concept of fear and death or things going wrong for people that are holding that space.
Yeah, no,
Because,
it's not.
because then you would have a different understanding of what was happening.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I have a lot of compassion for for everyone who's working in the healthcare system, you know, because they would like it's a thing of the system itself,
Yeah.
which we are all part of course. That's why every individual matters as well.
Yeah.
It's the system, but it's also us being part of the system.
Mm.
But like the thing is that most people, patients and doctors, are running on this constantly, like on this chronic sympathetic nervous system state mode. And in this mode, we just simply can't access specific parts of ourselves, which is like space holding quality.
Yeah,
of,
the ventral vagal part of our system is like, yeah, not in play, I guess. Yeah. So Oh, so how do we get some doctors to breathe? That would be amazing, right?
Yeah,
Because,
yeah,
because
totally.
also at the Breathe Festival,
Mhm.
quite a few, half the people that came to that workshop are new to breathing.
Mm.
Like
Mhm.
they're not facilitators.
Mhm.
There was a few facilitators there, but
Mhm.
the majority are either very new or brand new to breathing. So what that showed me is that we don't almost what's at play in that space, or what's kind of coming together in that space is something, um I think it's like the element of water and how she holds space.
Mm.
Element of air was called in, and then the divine mother, the creative life force energy, and all of those together, calling those in, creates this kind of bubble. Because a few people are reporting this as well, that they feel like around the tub there's this, what did you call it earlier? You named it beautifully, like this bubble of, I can't remember what you said. It was beautiful.
Portal, maybe?
It was
No.
like a portal, but what they're saying is this, because before they're saying if they step backwards, they feel like they're outside of it, and they step forwards and they come into it. They can feel a tangible difference
Mhm.
in what's being created there.
Mhm.
That's quite interesting. What's
Mhm.
what? And I think it's everybody that's there. It's like the constellation of Martine, who was the one that was holding you, the mama, and Pablo, and everybody together creates that safety.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is what I'm learning.
Like really, at the moment, I'm also, that's quite a present topic for me, but it was throughout the last years, the importance of presence, real presence, like undivided attention. This is so powerful. This is so profoundly powerful, and it's felt. Like it is really felt. And if you don't feel it consciously, at least you do unconsciously. And it's not easy. It's simple, but not easy. We like to be really, really present. But this is for sure something I think we could kind of easily infuse into the healthcare system as well, like to just be really present. Like for if you're really, really present for at least a couple of minutes with someone and they feel profoundly heard, this changes something already.
Yeah.
And this is also, I feel at least, why breathwork is so potent, because if you have a one-on-one session, like having again this undivided presence from someone, like most people are not used to this, so that even creates kind of friction inside, where the system thinks like, wow, what's going on, like it's a bit confusing even. And then in a way resting back into this feeling of, wow, this somehow this is the natural state to be really, really present with each other. Yeah, so that's why this also created this potency of the workshop you all created together. Yeah. Mm. Yeah,
Hmm.
and this ability for unconditional love. Yeah. It was really, really felt, and therefore it felt very safe. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost as if, like when I'm in that space, it's almost as if I'm so present, I lose myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know feel myself. I become something else. And I can see there's a point in the process where I can almost see into the soul of the other person,
Wow.
and see the beauty,
Mm.
I'm going to cry because it's so full on. It's so magical. And just see this perfect being who's chosen to come here.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
And that's a state of presence we can teach ourselves. All of us can teach ourselves to be like that. Be a different world, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I have one more thing to add to your question, like how we could get more people into breathing.
Yeah.
And I think for me, and I also feel it's a bit maybe my role in this life, is bridging science and spirituality. You know, that's why I somehow find it useful to have one foot in this in the healthcare system world, and also like definitely having the other foot in the spiritual world, if you want to call it like this. And like we can explain so much from a scientific perspective about physiology, about neuroscience, all this, what happens in the body. And this is often kind of a door opener for people who are completely new to this. And I also talked last year with a couple of students of my group, and I was sharing a bit about my time in Egypt and how I got to know to breathwork and all this. And they were actually curious. Like they even asked me if we could make a breathwork session together and all this. So
amazing.
I feel the readiness, not with everyone for sure, but that's totally normal and fine. But there are some people who are willing to go deeper, because I think it's human, you know. I think we have this intrinsic like longing for how would you call it?
Because it's inside us already. It's already inside us. So people can hear that there's more than what they can see, this illusion, and they want to explore.
Yeah. Also, a couple of weeks ago, I did something cool because I'm joining. I'm joining. How do you say? Like a course in it's a voluntary course at my university. It's about suicide and all like a topic around suicide.
Yeah, mental health.
Yes, but specifically, I don't know the word, suicidality.
People who have suicidal tendencies.
Yes,
Who think about not being here.
exactly. And I'm very interested in this topic because it's also kind of a taboo topic, and I think it's so important to include these topics because they are part of life as well. So we take in a way this the fear or the scarcity from these topics when we're actually facing them. It was so deep, so powerful and interesting, and everyone had to do a presentation for the group. And my topic was suicidality and vitamin D, like the kind of how they're interacting with each other. And I thought, okay, I really want to share something which is so close to my heart, and I think it's very, very, very valuable and important to share. So I, in a way, invited them onto a journey, and this was my journey, which started 2 years ago, to Egypt, where there's definitely no lack of vitamin D. So I picked this, and this is where I got to know breathwork, which is and through breathwork I worked with so many people suffering from anxiety, depression, insomnia, like all these things which could potentially lead to suicidality. So in a way I was bridging these topics, and I was bringing breathwork for the first time to my university and talking to people who are not at all in contact with this topic was interesting and also a bit challenging, because I felt in a way their resistance or their, let's say, it's just so far out for them. But it was a very beautiful experience. And I thought if only one of them feels kind of maybe motivated or reassured, not reassured, but maybe that's a door opener for maybe only one of them. And yeah, this was cool. I'm committed to do more of this. Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping to do that again at the Breathe Festival. So maybe you could try and get one of them to come.
Mm.
And then there'd be two of you sharing
Mm.
sharing their experience.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it will happen. It needs to.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that you seem to be the perfect ambassador.
Yeah. Mm.
So great.
Yeah. Like I'm definitely an ambassador for mental health.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
as I went through years and years of depression, and now I know that it was made perfect sense for my system to react to specific situations through depression. So I'm like really committed to bring more of like mental health into the society. Yeah.
And what I want to ask you about anxiety, like low level anxiety that people have for decades or years. What, like, in your experience, is there one thing that's the root cause of it, or is it just a nervous system
Mm.
like what, like I'm still trying to work this out, what, because we're seeing more and more people and there's loads of tools to kind of regulate the nervous system, but if they've tried everything and it's not going away, then my feeling is there's something at the root of it.
Very good question. I would need to reflect on this a bit deeper.
Maybe you can just leave me a voice note if it comes,
Mhm.
something comes through.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
would.
just interested to talk more in more depth about it, because I see a lot of people that suffer from anxiety,
So many.
amongst other things. But this is,
Yeah.
there's always something when they're talking to me. There's always something in their body. That's the bit that is making me think that it's something that's energetically on a level that's, I mean, even from a past life
Mm.
that they're carrying through. Because when I ask them, yeah, that pretty much everyone, all of them say that their parents suffered from this as well,
Mm.
which is maybe why they're coming about it from the wrong perspective, or not the wrong perspective, but if they're thinking it's theirs and actually it's not theirs and they're carrying it through,
Mm.
then maybe the healing needs to happen there or
Mhm.
here to heal the, ancestrally.
Yeah,
And this is why it's not shifting.
very possible. Yeah, that's why I'm also trained in theta healing. Do you know this?
Yeah.
Theta healing. I find it so powerful because you can just go right away to the root cause, and I've seen quite some people shifting like in patterns around anxiety through this, and often we adopted it from our parents or grandparents,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
faced war and things like this.
Yes.
So this is a super beneficial tool. But one thing
Look that up.
which comes now to my mind about the question you ask. I honestly think anxiety happens when we forget, like when we literally forget the connection to something higher, bigger, like source, God, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
because in
That
this,
umbilical cord you're talking about.
exactly, now it comes to my program. No, like literally, I think when we feel disconnected, this makes us feel anxious. And when we think we have to kind of anchor ourselves on the kind of horizontal plane onto other people, situations and stuff like this. And then if something happens, because like there's always like life is change itself constantly. So this is very unstable. So if we forget that there's actually this this vertical connection, which is always there. I think this is what shifts anxiety. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that makes sense, because the clients that I speak to, they're always looking at the reasons around them that might be making them anxious, or the things that trigger them, and it's always here, as you're saying, on this plane.
Yeah. And I mean, we grew up in a society where spirituality is not taught, and I love really grounded spirituality. I think it's the most natural thing. Like it's just, it feels just so natural. Like there's so much more in life which we can't even comprehend. So it's just wise and smart to include this as well. This force which is never not there, by which we feel always taken care of and seen and heard and felt and so safe if we allow it and if we practice this remembrance. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Christianity and some of the other religions have a lot to answer for, because especially in the northern hemisphere, Western hemisphere, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, England, and the more Nordic countries in Europe, were all Celts and Druids before, and they had, the Wheel of the Year, they had ceremony, they had connection with the earth and the seasons, and they celebrated those, and it was all to do with the inner and the outer worlds.
Wow.
It was about birth, death, rebirth. It was about the cycle and the wheel of life, and each passing, there's interquarters, this wheel of life, and then Christianity came along and decided to put its own layer on top. And that took away that connection. And you know that yew tree that you went to see in the Compton Dundon, that yew tree, when I was doing the opening ceremony for the Breathe Festival, we just did a little one beforehand. We opened the space energetically with like 5 of us, with Vicky as well, who was doing the pranayama. That yew tree came to me because I live quite near to it. We've been and done ceremonies at Samhain on a tree before, and made offerings and things. And when I was opening the space, that yew tree was there. Like, I want to be here. I want to be helping to transmute negative energies from this festival, because this is what it does. It's the yews this is why they're in graveyards. They're meant to help people ascend from this world to the spirit world. And this tree's like 2,000 years old or something. It's super old. And yeah, it just came to me. So when you started sharing and said about you went to the yew, I was like, he was calling that in. He was part of the festival. He wanted to be energetically, he was helping. So I love when you shared that.
Yeah. Wow. That's really cool. Yeah. I feel so connected to trees. Yeah.
All right.
Actually,
Yeah, tell me.
like I have two more things which came to my mind regards your question.
Yeah, great.
One thing, if I think of my grandma, the other one, not the one I'm staying with, like she's really into Christianity and believing in the church and all this, but she has so much anxiety inside of her. So I was really questioning it when I thought, wow, like how much strength does your faith really give you, you know? And when I look at her now, I really see so often her inner child inside of her. So I clearly see she was also a refugee during the Second World War and stuff. So it becomes so obvious for me that we have to go back to our wounds, like the childhood wounds, and to clear this. Otherwise, I think it leads to anxiety because there's something inside of us which is like not in place, let's say, and this always gives you a feeling of like in a way restlessness or like unsafety, let's say.
Sure.
And then it's more like kind of suppressing this and just wanting like in a way the connection to God, or like begging that the God is kind of willing and supporting and stuff like this, but it's
But the God's out here.
yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Um,
So this is
and safety. So you said something there. I think that's also what causes this, is the feeling of being unsafe.
yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Anxieties, like a feeling of unsafety, not feeling safe.
Yeah. And unworthiness. This is a huge thing I witness in her. Like this small inner girl which just wow had traumatic experiences, and yeah. And the second thing is the importance of discernment by which people we surround ourselves. This had made a huge shift in my life regards anxiety, depression, and stuff like this. Like literally becoming very aware of the nervous system of the people, of the closest people we allow close to ourselves. Yeah, leaving unhealthy dynamics. Yeah, discernment in a way. Yeah.
Well, we orient towards those situations in our lives, don't we? We almost call them in. It's not like on some unconscious level. I mean, yeah. I guess it's not fair to really say that we create that reality around us. We do to a certain extent, but we also, I think it's more that we orient, because that's what we've been used to. So we might have been used to someone that's unkind or earlier in life, and so we just see that as the norm, and then surround ourselves with that people or situations that are very similar. Oh. Well, I did a little video. Do you want me to show you? Let me press stop on this. I made a little 3-minute video about this work. Would you like to see it?
Yes, I would love to see it.
Okay, let me get it up and share. Share. Okay, can you see that?
Wow. Yeah.
All right. I feel like I was born to do this work. Every conscious breath that I take takes me a little deeper into understanding why I'm here, my path. and I think it can help others do the same. Warm water rebirthing is when we take ourselves into a conscious connected breathwork session, but we go into warm water, which is body temperature. Different temperatures of water elicit different kinds of unconscious memories, but body temperature seems to be more associated with womb experiences or birth experiences. Rebirthing is about recreating the environment that we should be brought into this world with. There's a lot of intervention, there's a lot of painkillers, and there's a lot of fear around the birthing process. Fear of what could go wrong, fear of something negative happening. What do we then decide about life if we're brought in from a place of fear? What is inspiring me to do this work is it allows the breath to take us back to a place of origin where we made decisions about our lives and decisions about how we see the world. And in going to that place, something magical happens. The body wants to complete a cycle that was interrupted or that it hasn't quite processed, that it needs to complete and integrate and let go of. Rebirthing breathwork allows us to come back to the root of those experiences and understand them for what they really were. And there's something really magical that happens between everyone that's working together. And it allows so much safety and so much holding that we're received in a different way, maybe how we needed to have been received. We needed to have known that we are wanted and we are here, and to be celebrated when we come back from that place. So there's nothing more beautiful in life than to witness somebody being reborn, to seeing their eyes open as if for the first time. By being reborn, we get another opportunity to rewrite that script and to see the world in a different way.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. I had goosebumps several times.
Oh.
Wow. Very, very good movie.
Do you think I've been showing the people that have been sharing with me? Yeah, and some people start crying and they're just like, yeah, this is bringing back what it feels like an essence of what it feels like in the space. So
yeah, really.
I think I'm ready to offer this to more people.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly scary, but it's okay. I don't have a choice. I've got to do it.
Yeah, do it. I had the same feeling when I actually did the presentation, I felt it's not about me personally. Like if I found something that profound, which changed my life completely, which I felt others' lives changed, it's my duty to share it, even if I'm scared. But even if I think, whoa, I don't know, how will I be perceived? But yeah, do it. Yeah. It's so precious. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I know it's not about me. I know it's about everything. It's about the place, the land, the people that are there, the person that has the intention of showing up. or even the unintention, because sometimes people arrive and they had no idea how they got there. And they're just like suddenly in the water going, what? How did I get here? Which does happen as well. But yeah, this is giving me the confidence. Like, I guess, let me just press stop. Is it recording?